Back into Class 4 company for race number 4. We drop back to the 1200 metres as well. Our next 4 races over the 1200 in actual fact. The Silver Strand Handicap. Dashing Gainer, 0 from 16. He's first up since January. Derek Lung from barrier number 10. Elite Boy likes to roll. He's come at barrier 8. Lucky Thought makes his all-weather debut. He was beaten favourite 1.4 at Happy Valley last time out. Promise kept. Fourth on return. He'd been off the track for a long time. He finished behind Diamond Brilliant on the turf. Switches back to the all-weather. Blooming Spirit, fourth last time out behind Taking You Further. And Fame and Fortune, runner-up behind Exponents. Course and distance last time out on a wet, slow track as well. Goes back up in class, Joe Moreau from barrier 2. Formula Galore is the horse that's been up at John Fire. He's had a couple of weeks up there in the last month.
Yeah, Alvanong taking his first ride for Casper Founds this season on Formula Galore. Lucky Thought, Elite Boy, Dashing Gainer, they might be the 3 early to fight out the speed. That should give Viva Council, if he can get his engine up and going early, to take the spot behind the leader. Blooming Spirit's a little chance of being in front of him, maybe, Viva Council. They might battle for that spot. Fame and Fortune should get the lovely drop on what looks to be a fairly fast pace.
As Dalradian, Martin Harley doing the work on him. He takes the mount on race day as well. His first time on the surface, so interesting to see how he goes. A couple of his runs haven't been too badly recently. It's by reward for effort, this horse. Joyful Contender, another one that does it really nice and easily here. Blinkers and hood will come off him, so a bit of a gear change. Barrier 6, but has been placed on the all-weather surface from his 4 starts. And he does generally work nicely on it. Blooming Spirit, Alfred Chan will take a lot of weight off this horse's back. He's going to come in with 110 pounds from barrier 4. Another one that's run well on the surface in the past, so he looks good going into this race.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad run last time either. All right, this is the first leg of the TT. 2.7 million going in, so an estimated dividend in the region of $6 million if you're a triple trio player. If you're not, we can hopefully try and help you out here. Starting off with Lucky Thought. Now, he's run 30. I couldn't believe the price this night, 1.4, rolled by Taking You Further.
I get the feeling, and Jenny's mentioned it in the paddock, that he's a bit of a lad. You'd think he was a colt. He's not. He's gelded, bit of a rascal type. Still young and boisterous and playful, and in that respect, when he gets onto the track, he doesn't focus 100% for the entire race, and therefore he's doing a few things wrong, and it's costly. He's got an engine, no doubt, but he's still maturing.
Yeah, I think the surface is going to help him a lot because he's trialled really well on it before. And that's why when he started to find this form, barrier 3, I wouldn't be surprised if Zach just pushed him to the front and kept him out of trouble.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think he might just ride hard to get him to the front, get him focused on the track in front of him and the rail to guide him. And if that's the case, then it'll take a good horse to beat him.
And I think Zach knows him now as well.
Yeah, you can see there he was off the fence too, like away from the rail, and he was all over the place, a bit like you on a Saturday night, Andrew.
You take the price out of the equation, it wasn't a bad run. But let's get the thoughts of the jockey, Zach Purton, on Lucky Thought.
Lucky Thought, Zach, beaten as the favourite last time out. What happened?
He's just a bit weak, isn't he? Mentally and physically. He didn't really have a crack, but getting back to the dirt where he's trialled well, he's drawn a reasonable gate. Hopefully we can get forward on him and let him use his speed, and I think that's probably the key.
Does he have trouble turning?
He has here on the dirt in the trials. He's run off the corner both times in his trials, so I'll have to try and keep his momentum going into the corner, but at Happy Valley he doesn't seem to have a problem getting around there, and that's a lot tighter track than what this one is here, so I don't know why he carries on like that.
There's the natural ability, there's something to like about him though as a horse?
Yeah, he's got speed, you know, he's got the potential. He's, like I said, he's just physically he's a bit weak, mentally he's very weak. Once one of those things or two of those things come together, then he'll be okay.
All right, we'll see if they come together on Wednesday night. That's Lucky Thought, Danny Shum, Zach Purton. Blooming Spirit we can have a look at next, and Elite Boy. Now he'll jump and run given the opportunity. Barrier 8 he's come up with. Yeah,
we know he's had bleeding problems, Elite Boy. Blood in the track here, but he can gallop. Blooming Spirit for me is the one I'm interested in most. I thought he ran all right behind Taking You Further and behind Sky Treasure prior to that on this surface.
Yeah, he obviously likes the surface. He's going to come in with a lightweight and he's got a good barrier draw. So there's a lot of positives there with Blooming Spirit. So, yeah, I've got him in there.
All right, and the weight concession I think certainly makes him a little bit more attractive than he might have been. Viva Council, now the form's pretty solid on the all-weather, but we're going back 3 starts. He had 2 starts since this second to Flying Lover.
Yeah, he can take a little bit of time to sort of get the engine going, so not fantastically gifted when it comes to the first 100 metres with regarding pace, but once he does build up and get some speed going underneath those legs, he can carry it a fair way. You can see here he got very close to Flying Lover, who obviously hadn't taken a long time to win his race, but he won a couple in a row. So from the inside gate, he's worth considering for exotics.
Yeah, he's. I haven't got him in there, but he is a winner on the all-weather.
All right, Fame and Fortune's another one with an inside gate. Barrier 2 for him. Comes up in class on the back of this.
Yeah, it was a good run, I thought, from him. I know he's up in class with a lightweight, is Fame and Fortune. Joe Moreira will take the mount on him. He is still eligible for the lower grade, actually, so they are taking this option there with him. He's been quite consistent on the surface, so yeah, I found a spot for him.
Yeah, I think he can go pretty close, actually. Fame and Fortune with a lightweight, Joe aboard.
There's no Class 5 over the 1200 at this meeting, so you know, this was their race if they wanted it, and they've taken it. But Lucky Thought, the favourite, Paul, again.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with him. Lucky Thought. I think this is a surface, so we saw that trial there. If he can reproduce that, and the horse outside him was being pushed along, he wasn't, and they were well clear of anything else. So he's on top. Blooming Spirit with that really light weight. Promise Kept. He's only had 2 starts, this horse, and his 5th on his debut run on the all-weather I thought was very, very good. He's had has had a few issues and a big gap, but he'll be effectively going 2nd up now. So I think he can run a race with the fitness improved and Fame and Fortune in for 4th. 4, 10, 7, 12.
Yeah, just on Promise Kept. Good to see Umberto Responsibly back riding there Wednesday night, and of course also Chad Schofield too, who was stood down on the weekend. 12, 4, 2, 10. I'm like Paul. I think Lucky Thought's the hardest to beat. I just think Fame and Fortune might get the sit on him. If he does something wrong, Lucky Thought, then maybe the 12 can overhaul him. But they were the 2 I was sort of flipping between. Viva Council, Blooming Spirit in for 3rd and 4th.
All right, yeah, I've included Lucky Thought, but I'm inclined to give Promise Kept a chance. I think if he can build on that last start effort, he could be going pretty close once more. All right, that's race number 4.